you, Dean Birdsell. That was wonderful. Two of the standards for charity accountability say that charities should, number one, evaluate their effectiveness, and secondly, report the results of that effectiveness to their board at least every 2 years. And that is one of the reasons why we do this program on effectiveness, accountability. Before I introduce our opening speaker, I want to echo what Dean Birdsell was saying in terms of resilience, because being resilient is also being effective. It's part of effectiveness. And as we started planning today's symposium, the resilience word kept popping up, especially as we began hearing more about the impact of Superstorm Sandy. The October superstorm hit us very hard. Many nonprofits, as well as their employees and clients, experienced hardships and difficulties as a result of the storm. Some organizations were resilient, meaning they were able to stretch beyond their usual service areas to address urgent needs quickly and effectively, even when their own organizations were powerfully impacted by the storm. Others were less prepared to do so. And it became clear that we could learn from these experiences. We learned a lot of things at the Better Business Bureau, believe me. So today we will hear about resilience in a disaster relief and recovery context. However, as you were saying, that's not the only way to view resilience as it relates to nonprofits. So today we are taking that broader look. Resilience is about more than just disaster preparedness. It's more than just about urban planning. It's more than just about responding to what has already happened. It's about building a stronger future. We're going to be looking at some areas of that today, but we could do a full day on this because there's so many things to consider. Leaders and organizations can cultivate characteristics and behaviors that make them more resilient. That is, stronger, better able to handle the shocks and surprises, better able to handle the unexpected. So most of the time, we develop strategic plans and build systems to cope with things that we've already learned to expect. But Sandy gave us a critical reminder. We need to build systems and plan for what we cannot expect. Kind of hard to do. But we have to understand it's going to happen. We need to have systems in place, perspectives in place that allow for that allow us to see beyond what we already know and build systems for the unexpected. Becoming more resilient may also mean we need to look in a fresh way at the communities we serve. How can we better understand not just what they need now, but what is coming down the road? Again, not easy to do. So we've invited speakers today to look back at the results of Sandy and then forward into the future, talk about how we can make ourselves, our charities, and our communities stronger, strong enough to be truly resilient when the next big unexpected thing arrives, because we certainly know it will. A few tips for business today, switching gears. In your packets, you have cards. Those are for you, as our speakers speak, to write down your questions. We will collect them. Staff will go around collecting them, so just wave them up. Our moderators will read as many as time allows, because you are part of this event. You're not just sitting there taking it all in. We want you to participate. So write your questions, we'll collect them, and speakers will address as many as they possibly can. Also, you will find evaluation forms in your packet. Please fill them out. We actually read them, and we use them to develop the next program. Your input really counts. And finally, you'll see our film crew in the back. We do film these programs. You can find all of our last symposia up online, and you will be able to see this one as well as a white paper as well. So these are documented for the future. It's all part of helping to make you resilient. We have a Twitter hashtag too, and you'll be seeing it up on the screens. It's hashtag BBB Charity, and we really invite you to tweet away. There is no Wi-Fi here though, So for those who need Wi-Fi, sorry, but many of you have cell phones, so you can do it through that. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our opening speaker, Jason Lillian, who is Bureau Chief of the New York Attorney General's Charities Bureau. Jason has been with us here before. Thank you so much for being here again. He has been in that role since August of 2008, has a most distinguished career, as you can see from the bio in your kits. I had the honor of working with Jason on the Attorney General's Leadership Committee for Nonprofit Revitalization in 2011, as a number of you in the room did as well. There were 32, I believe, nonprofit leaders on that panel, and very proud of what we were able to accomplish. We've invited Jason here today to update us on the latest important developments from the Charities Bureau, and at the end of his presentation, we should have some time for Q&A. Jason.